All right, welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something that could seriously change how you experience your own life. It's this idea of the observer's self. We're going to explore how you, yes, you, can be the calm, steady sky, even when the inside of your head feels like a raging storm.
So let's just get right into it. Have you ever had that feeling, you know the one, where a wave of anxiety or a flash of anger just takes over? It's like you're not even in the driver's seat anymore. You've been totally hijacked by your own mind.
And when that happens, what do? We react, right? We say something we regret, we shut down, we just get completely swept away by it all. In those moments, it feels like we don't just have anger, we are the anger. We become the anxiety. We completely identify with all that mental chaos, and honestly, it's exhausting. But what if there was a better way?
Well, it turns out, thousands of years ago, this ancient text called the Bhagavad Gita laid out a really powerful way of thinking about this exact problem. It offers this incredible, timeless kind of technology for the mind, a way to find that little bit of space between something happening and how we respond to it.
It all starts with this one key idea, kshetra, which basically means the field. Now, the Gita says our body is the field. But it's actually much bigger than that. It's the entire arena of our experience. Everything from a stub toe to a complex emotion. It's all happening inside this field.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Look what the Gita includes as part of the field. It's not just your physical body. It's your mind, your ego, your senses, and get this, even your desires, your happiness, your distress. All the things we think of as me, the text says, nope, that's just stuff happening in the field. That's not the real you.
Which, of course, brings us to the second totally game-changing idea, kshetrajya. This means the knower of the field. The text is super clear about this. There's the field, and then there's the one who knows the field. This is that silent, aware part of you, the part that can simply notice, oh, okay, there's a feeling of anger rising, or I'm experiencing sadness right now. It's the witness.
And this table just lays out the difference perfectly. The field, your body, thoughts, feelings, it's always changing, right? It's temporary, it's stuff. But the knower, your true self, your consciousness, that's the complete opposite. It's steady, it's unchanging, it's the part of you that has been there the whole time. Think about it. The you that is aware right now is the same you that was aware when you were 5 years old, even though the field of your body and mind is totally, completely different.
So here it is, the most important takeaway of all. If you remember one thing, let it be this. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not the storm. All of that is just weather passing through the field. You are the awareness that is experiencing it.
Okay, so that's the big idea, and it's a huge shift in how we see ourselves. But the real question is, how do we actually do it? You know, how do we stop identifying with the storm and start feeling like the sky? Well, the Gita actually gives us a practical toolkit for building that awareness.
The Bhagavad Gita lays out a bunch of qualities that help us develop this observer self. We're going to zoom in on 4 really practical ones that help create that inner space we've been talking about. Think of these less as boring virtues and more like exercises for your mind.
First up is tolerance. Now, the source text talks about this as being able to bear insult and dishonor. But let's be clear, this is not about being a doormat and letting people walk all over you. It's about building inner resilience. Every time you practice not immediately reacting to a provocation or a little insult, you're actually strengthening that observer self. You're teaching it to stay steady while the weather of what other people do just passes by.
Next, we've got self-control. Man, our senses are always yelling at us, aren't they? Check your phone. Eat that. Say that clever thing right now. The Gita suggests maybe not catering to every single one of those demands. Every time you notice an impulse and choose not to follow it, you create a tiny little pause. And in that pause, that's where the power is. That's the space where you get to decide how to respond instead of just reacting.
Then there's this idea of even-mindedness. This is all about staying balanced, whether good things are happening or bad things are happening. And why would you do that? Because you start to realize that both are just temporary states passing through the field. They show up, and then they leave. When you stop desperately clinging to the good stuff and running from the bad stuff, you find this deep sense of calm. You become less like a roller coaster and more like a mountain.
And the source text just puts this so beautifully. It says, the soul, that's the knower. It's in the body, it's experiencing everything, but it's not actually entangled in it. It doesn't get stained or broken by whatever's happening in the field. It just remains pure, untouched awareness.
You know, this isn't just some ancient philosophical idea.
This is literally the foundation of what we now call emotional intelligence. That moment you feel that surge of rage, but you choose not to hit send on that angry email, that's it. That's the knower, you, observing the field and making a conscious choice. This is where we stop being a slave to our feelings and start becoming the master of our responses.
And just to make this crystal clear, the Gita gives us the absolute perfect metaphor. Just think about the sky. The sky holds everything, right? It holds clouds, storms, sunshine, smoke, but it never actually mixes with any of it. The storm doesn't break the sky. The smoke doesn't permanently stain the sky. The sky is just the vast, unchanging space that allows it all to happen. So let's just tie this all together. All that stuff happening in the field, the desire, the happiness, the anxiety, the excitement, that's just the weather of your mind. It's always changing. Some days are sunny, some are stormy, some are just kind of gray. And you know what? That's totally fine.
And you, the real you, the knower, the observer self, you are the sky. You are that vast, open, peaceful awareness that lets all of this mental weather come and go without being defined by it. The sky doesn't get mad when a thunderstorm rolls in. It just holds it.
And that's the final thought I really want to leave you with. You can't always control the weather of your mind. You can't just decide to not feel anxious or sad. But what you can do is change your relationship to it. You can stop believing that you are the storm and start remembering that you are the vast, resilient sky that has enough space for all of it. So what changes when you start identifying with the sky instead of the weather?